So it looks like we're off.
We start off with a vanilla lantern in Link's house. How convenient.
And there was a very short map check here on Goomba's side. I saw a crystal on Hera and I think a crystal on Eastern Palace. So the uncle today holds for us just some cash, but the chest in front of Uncle has the bombs medallion. So one of the intricacies of open mode, if you've never played this particular mode, is that you can select whether to start at Link's house or the Sanctuary. You do not have to go through the escape sequence at all.
That's true, and a lot of people tend to go straight for Kakariko to catch all of those chests that are right there, but hoping to find some kind of offensive weapon. Although usually they will go ahead to try to hit escape as soon as they get some sort of confident weapon to catch those chests that are there.
And there's a heart container here in the mushroom spot in Lost Woods. That is something that most runners will probably pick up early on with just 3 hearts. Can be a bit rough. So a full heart container is not much time investment for some safety. Michael K here is using his game knowledge to knowing that in the bushes south of the dig spot, certain bushes can have a 50% chance of dropping a bomb. So Michael K collected a couple bombs going into Kakariko from the south route here.
Bombs are really important at the very beginning of the game. For those that are new to the Zelda speedrunning community, you need bombs in order to get into the Chicken Hut. You need bombs in order to get into Agina's Cave. You need bombs to get into the mini Moldorm Cave. There's just you need at least 10 or 12 bombs coming right off of the bat if you want to make sure to catch all of those overworld checks.
At chat, racing game was just 10 arrows, so nothing that we're going to be going for unless one of the runners decides to do a blind blind race game.
Chat keeping us good. There was a blue boomerang at the library, although none of our runners can get to it yet because we have yet to find the boots.
And Michael K here in the Chicken Hut finds the single most important item in the game, the bug net.
That is a very useful item. Very versatile.
Well, you can reflect Aghanim's shots back at him.
Exactly. Also, about as useful as the fishing rod in one of the other games.
Yeah. And what's even more important is that it gives you a lot of swag points. That said, we are not going to have to use it to reflect Aghanim's shots back at him because we found the sword here in the well.
And 2 of our others picking up their bug net.
And speaking of items with questionable use, there's a shovel here in Blind's hut.
Well, I mean, it leads to one other progression item.
And a cape. Yet another item. Like, so far, except for the sword, all of the items we got so far, questionable use. Like, we may or may not...
Perhaps we could call them mildly optional? So far, the only items that seem to have any sort of necessity, we definitely have the lantern. The lantern is going to be a big help for all those dark rooms in Pod and in Eastern Palace, and especially if we have to do an Aghanim run. And then we've also got ourselves the sword, and we've also got ourselves Bombos, which could be what we need to enter either Turtle Rock or Misery Mire.
Or Ice Palace.
Very good point. Sometimes you need Bombos in order to get into Ice Palace, but if you can't find the Fire Rod, you also need it in order to beat Cold Stare.
Indeed. So one thing that is very noteworthy here is that out of these couple of items we found, Aghanim is in logic completely. The V30 due to the logic bug with the swords does not recognize the master sword as a progression item. So one sword, cape, and lantern means that Aghanim is fully in logic, and that was like 3 of the first 6 or so items we found. So yeah.
That's right, and you would need the Master Sword in the vanilla game in order to take out the barrier that leads you into Aghanim. However, in the randomizer, you can definitely use the cape in order to walk right past that barrier.
Mm-hmm. And Michael K, talking to Hasala here, finds out that the green pendant is in Pod.
Oh, that makes things so much fun. I like Pod anyway because it does have 5 potential items that could be progression items in the dungeon, but then on top of it, you get the green pendant, and you could possibly find another one.
Yeah. Very convenient location.
With us having the fighter's sword, and it doesn't seem like we have any form of bow, it really does not put Eastern or Desert into logic. And since we don't have the hook shot, it certainly doesn't put Tower of Hair into logic. But I haven't seen any of our runners try to tackle escape yet, and so that would be the next logical place to head to once we finish these overworld checks.
Oh yeah, and with the lantern, we also can we have logical access into the Dark Cross and the back of the escape.
I'd be walking straight through the vanilla way. There would be no way to drop down the back well until we find the power gloves.
Mm-hmm. And let's see what Mini Moldorum Cave has for us today. There's a float! And a sand card, and the power glove. But
oh my goodness, that's looking more like a hype cave than a Mini Moldorm cave. Wow.
Yeah, since V29, Mini Moldorum Cave tended to be the hype cave rather than a hype cave. So.
So the power glove is going to give us access to a lot of different things. It's going to definitely open up the back of the well, which it seems like Michael K is heading to right now. And then since he got a key from the original sanctuary, he may just go ahead and stop on down and pick up the Dark Cross while he's at it.
Yeah.
Nilson Alex is going to head up and give us a check to see what Agina is going to give us, and he may walk over and see what's on the ledge while he's at it.
So, the streak of somewhat optional items continues with a blue mail and a bottle in the back of Escape here. And Michael K opts not to do the Dark Cross just yet. I assume that Michael K will route that in when he does the regular part of the escape, like the front part of the escape.
Absolutely. And Nilson finding that Agina is just giving us a couple blueberries.
So there's still a couple of items left in the escape and in the not boss, not on Eastern Palace boss. And I think that would be just about it. Sikid, of course, as well. Between all of the runners here.
It shows that Michael K did find himself a bottle. Was a bottle found at the bottom of the well?
In the back of Escape, yeah.
That's what I meant to say. Yes, you're absolutely right. Michael K opening up his goose. The goose is loose, and now we can take ourselves to some fun places. But he's going to check the sick kid before he possibly heads up to Death Mountain.
And just the book. Wow, the streak of loaded items continues here.
And with the book and a power glove and a fire source, we can go through and complete Desert Palace.
That is true.
Unless, of course, one of the keys is boots locked on the lantern.
I was just about to say that.
Sorry, beat you to it.
Well, I guess you had the boots of words. Michael K will not find something useful here in the dig spot. Yeah, just swaps. Doesn't even pick up that heart piece. will... Oh, has not done the dam yet. All right.
Yeah, all of our runners are routing themselves really well, finding things. We have Goomba heading back to go pick up the old man to see what the old man has. And then with the items that Goomba has, they'll be able to check a little bit, definitely up on top of Death Mountain for those 2 checks up there.
Yeah, picking up the old man is never wrong because it opens up that safe spot, that respawn point there. So that's very useful. It's like the shortest point and gets you a full heal as well, especially once you have the flute. So it's very useful to have it. Just some bombs on the old man.
I was going to say that full heal makes a really good difference for runners of caliber like me, which means of no caliber whatsoever.
And it looks like both Goomba and Michael K are making their trip into the desert area, but Goomba has not found the book yet, so can't go into Desert Palace. While Michael K is making the plunge into our first dungeon.
Goomba seems to be checking the Agina, which he's just going to find himself some blueberries. But hopefully he'll go ahead and check the back of Escape, and then up to Sick Kid, and he'll be able to get his way into level 2 as well.
And there's a big key, which does mean we can beat Lon Molas. And it also means that the items... Oh, okay. There's the map on the torch. That means that it is not boots locked at all. I was just about to say the small key could be on the torch. It is not. It is in the big chest. So that's good.
Michael K getting our first hint, and it says that a shield upgrade and a piece of heart is going to be hidden behind a big fairy. So we won't need to be worrying about going and visiting the inside of the pyramid today.
Well, we are going to visit the inside of the pyramid, hopefully, but not that part of the inside.
Every now and then doing commentary, I lose my words, so I make up ones that kind of make sense.
Yeah. Right, our first item in Desert Palace here is going to be some bombs.
So Goomba running back to check that Dark Cross, which I'm pretty sure that when Michael K went down there, he skipped over that. Let's see if it's going to be something significant. And we have a piece of heart.
Yeah, I think one of the other runners went back there earlier. I think it was Seto when doing the back escape earlier. And Michael K found the compass in the cannonball room, which does mean that Lon Molas has the second item of Desert Palace.
Correct, because the taco was found on that bankable lamp.
Yeah. Oh, and Michael K deciding, you know what? I may as well just take a death here and refill my health.
Makes perfect sense to me while you're in there.
Yeah, fast respawn, I guess. Gonna go through the back section here of Desert Palace. I was gonna say Master Sword. Fighter Sword, Lon Molas is not fun at all.
It is not fun, and since he doesn't have any kind of bow or fire around, it's going to make it take that much longer. But this is the vanilla way you're supposed to beat them. So hopefully it'll make Michael K will make quick work of them.
Well, technically, I think supposed to use the ice rod, but you know we don't have that, so because it's randomizer.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I've never even thought of using the ice rod in the land molas since I ever started playing this game.
Yeah, the ice rod does as much damage to Lon Molas as the fire rod does. So 2 swings with the ice rod, and one of the worms goes down. And it looks like Michael K is opting to go for bomb strats here. I think it was 3 bombs per worm. Don't quote me on that. That's like one of those strats that you very rarely seen.
And it's entertaining to watch on top of it. There goes one of the land molas down. And we have Goomba checking the front half of Escape, being the first one down there to do that.
I think that Michael K currently is banking on if Aghanim is required, I might as well route that front of Escape in there, since like the very early game heavily hinted towards Aghanim might possibly be required. We still haven't found a Moon Pearl. We still haven't found the second item we might need to get into Dark World, so Mitts or Hammer. So
absolutely correct, and that means if it stays that way through finding the rest of these items, we don't find the mirror or the hook shot in order to give us, or the hammer in order to get us access to Tower of Hera. This is leaning a lot to be an Aghanim seed.
And Desert Palace was empty. That except for the crystal, there was nothing there, because Alamolas only had a big 20. So that means our progression is probably going to be in Eastern Palace, if not on the Pyramid Ledge, or like, somewhere past beating Aghanim.
Absolutely, we're certainly leaning this way. Now, correct me if I am wrong, but I know in the vanilla game, the Fighter Sword would not reflect Aghanim's seeds. Does the Fighter Sword reflect Aghanim's bolts in this game?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it does.
Because that would just be too much fun if it didn't, and you had to use the bug catching net.
Well, I mean, maybe one of the runners decides to use the bug net because, the hitbox is a bit larger and more lingering, so perhaps, like, even though it comes up auto bit later, maybe one of the runners likes it better than the Fighter Sword.
Swag points to the runner who uses the bug catching net.
Yeah, that one's, even if they don't win the race, they're gonna be the winners in our hearts. And Seto also taking down Lanmolas, getting rewarded with a whole 20 rupees and the crystal.
We've had a check on everything in the upper world, with the exception of dipping into Eastern that is logically accessible. No one has tried to fake flipper their way to Hobo or up to the Zora area. And it looks like none of our runners have quite enough cash to... Oh, wait, that's not true. Michael K has enough cash to go and take a visit to Zora.
Yeah, so Zora, like, logically speaking, Zora is the only one that's that can have progression that would be like within the seat's like structure, but obviously there might be a progression item like in flip-a-lock locations, and save whoever is fake flippering having to beat Aghanim 1 if they were to stay in the logic.
And just as we said it, here goes Nilson Alex on his way up in the direction of Zora to see what's going on up there.
Yeah, Eastern Palace has 3 items. Seto's making their way there. Even if one item is on the Armless Knights, there's still 2 items that could be Hammer and Moon Pearl or something. So the moment of truth is coming here for Nilson.
Here with Michael K going and checking that Ice Rod cave. I don't remember what was there. I don't know if anyone has checked it earlier.
That was a heart container. And it looks like Seto is indeed making the dip into Eastern Palace. Let's see if progression lies there.
Or what do you got for us? Oh, 20 rupees for 500.
Oh, geez, yeah, it's starting to look more and more likely, because the likelihood of there being the Moon Pearl and the Hammer or the Mitts in Eastern Palace is not particularly high.
Not at all.
And looks like Michael K decided to make use of that bug net and catch a fairy.
Michael K does only have 5 hearts at this point in time, and he was running out through all of those crabs. Those crabs are a little more nasty than some people tend to remember, because they do 2 hearts of damage to a person with green mail or blue mail.
2 hearts of damage with green mail.
And here we have Michael K doing his fake flippers up to go check out to see what's on Hobo.
I did not catch what Sato found in the first chest here in Eastern Palace in the front, like the front corridor. And also, without a Moon Pearl, we cannot do the water walk glitch to get into the waterfall cave.
That's absolutely true, and Hobo not offering us a Moon Pearl, but just a bunch of blueberries.
Looks like... Oh, that's why Michael K decided to catch a fairy. He's going to use that glitch at the Zora area to get to the ledge if there's something on there. Which we know there isn't, but, you know, Michael K doesn't.
That first chest over in Eastern was just a taco.
Thanks, chat. Oh, it was one of the trackers, actually. Face 9 likes one of our trackers, the other being literally Jen. And there's the hammer in the big chest of Eastern Palace. What would you call it? Like, because in vanilla, Pot Big Chest has the hammer, but this time it was Eastern that had the hammer in the big chest. Would it be chocolate, like the reverse of vanilla?
I think when people tend to use the term chocolate and strawberry, it's referring to it was in the right dungeon but the wrong chest. Maybe mirror vanilla? Maybe, I don't know, coffee?
And chat, don't get excited. Don't get too excited just yet. We do not have the Moon Pearl. Aghanim is still on the table and very, very likely. Oh, there it is! Wow, commentator's blessing there. I literally said unless we find the hammer or the title smiths and the Moon Pearl in Eastern Palace. And lo and behold, there they are.
And lo and behold, Aghanim goes away with a set of gloves, a Moon Pearl, and a hammer. Aghanim, you're pretty much dead. I'm sorry. And here we have Sito walking right over. He's going to make himself his entrance right by the swamp and walk right into that hype cave. Let's get some hype. Do you have any predictions for Hype Cave, Mr. Red?
I mean, after such a stingy early game, I'm hoping something good. I'd rather not make any more predictions because, you know, if I'm wrong, yeah, it's probably not going to be anything good, though.
That's part of the reason I asked, is because you have been so on point. And here we have the bow, a mirror, and another heart. But, woo, that's pretty good. A bow and a mirror. I'm giving that, let's say, an 8 out of 10 right there.
I mean, I still think that's not very good. Just, you know...
The mirror is a wonderful item to find because it gives you access to so many things, but on top of that, it gives you access to so many things, and so now you have a lot more checks you have to take care of.
And we're getting a map check here from Seto. That is a 5/6 crystal on Ice Palace and on Misery Mire. There was a pendant on Thieves Town, and I think the last one was in Turtle Rock. I also would like to point out that that was a required double dip Eastern Palace.
You're absolutely right, because we had to get into Eastern Palace in order to get the Moon Pearl, then go into Hype Cave to get the bow, which we would need to go to Eastern Palace.
Quite right, and looks like Sato is making the southern route here through the Dark World.
While you're here, you might as well catch, Cave 45. Might as well catch this. Although I don't really, I've never liked the name Cave 45. I always wanted to call it the O Cave because you get that O of bushes right around it.
Right. I usually call it South of Grove.
Consider's going to head up. He's going to take care of that digging game, which will unfortunately end his particular run. Without the Titans bits, you can't work your way all the way up into Thieves Town quite yet.
And Chad is actually quite correct. Powder is on the Lumberjack ledge, and we might need powder, depending on where the mushroom is, in the Cane of Samaria. Since that would be like the alternative to getting the powder.
If we have a progression item that is buried back behind the magic bat, especially if the progression item is the Cane of Samaria, then it'd still be necessary to go pick up the powder.
And looks like Michael K is doing the death warp here to get to the front part of not Eastern Palace, the escape, and pick up the Dark Cross. Oh fuck! He has the ferry too. That's a pain. I don't think
that did not help him this time around.
Yeah, I don't think Michael K is very happy about all this. Yeah, decides to just reset. There was nothing good in the escape anyway. This way also, he saves the ferry in the bottle for emergencies, and yeah.
The seed is a little mean that way, not giving a whole lot of progression items right away, making you think that the progression items have to be buried back behind escape. Since escape is open from the very beginning of the game, it sort of makes sense. Hey, if you can go down there, you could find a progression item. And then the game just says, nope, nothing down here for you, sorry.
And with the mirror in hand, Sato decides to make a trip up Death Mountain, probably going to go clear through Hera, and use that path to get to the eastern side of Death Mountain.
It's probably heading down to give us a check over on the side of the pyramid, and what we see is a sword progression.
Very useful, and looks like... Oh no, Michael K. Oh no. Michael K is gonna do Hyrule Castle Tower. Yeesh. Michael K forgot about Eastern Palace. That is very painful. That's gonna cost Michael K several minutes.
It's a logical step to go towards. He has to choose between this and Eastern. He's just making, a confident choice. And if you think about it, if he makes this choice and it is necessary, he may be a few steps ahead of everyone. Unfortunately, we know otherwise. And, good luck to him.
Yeah, I mean, the likelihood of the two progression items you need for Dark Relaxes being both in Eastern Palace before Armos Knights is so unlikely. But we got it. It is what is. And, yeah. I mean, I understand the play, but oof.
And Nilsson Alex picking up his hammer in the Eastern Palace, and he'll be grabbing his Moon Pearl Fairies shortly. Goomba giving us a check to see what the Catfish is holding, and that holds a sword progression as well.
Goomba already equipped with the Tempered Sword here. Very nice.
I've seen a lot of runners, when you get into the late part of the game and you're still sitting on the Master Sword, they'll actually stop and do a lot of checks as they can to try to pick up the Tempered Sword before heading over to Ganon. But he's already got his Tempered Sword. This gives him a little bit of a leg up.
Also, of course, Catfish being like a super out-of-the-way check. I'm not sure if many runners are going to opt to pick that up, that location. And we don't know where the fourth sword is, so... Oh, what was that?
I hit on Cane of Burna, but I didn't see exactly where it was. He closed it away too fast.
Yeah, I saw Cane and Fairy, which I think means that it's the Waterfall Cave that has Cane of Burna.
I agree, Waterfall Cave, because we already got a hint that the big fairy is holding nothing.
Yeah. And yeah, I only saw Cane and Fairy, but I didn't see which Cane it was. And Setu taking a coffee break here.
Is that what this is called, a coffee break?
Oh yeah, because you have to wait in the tower room, and like if you get onto the pegs and activate that switch, you can just stand there and use those invincibility frames. So you can just take a break.
I love the nicknames. Goomba's down here, and he finds the key, so we know that we are not bow locked in a pod, but it doesn't matter, we have the bow anyways, so he's going to be making his run straight through pod to see what we can find. There are 5 potential progression items in pod, so since we also have the lantern already, that dark room is going to be a cinch.
And Seto taking the death warp here. I guess Seto forgot that they have the mirror and can just mirror out to the front again. Or maybe they just wanted to help refill. I don't know.
Could be both. Could be just trying to be dramatic. I love it either way.
And Michael K is gonna at least give us some swag strats here. We also like to play a little game of how many blue balls. So for those of you who have never fought Aghanim or don't know how exactly he works, Aghanim teleports around the room, fires projectiles, 4 projectiles, and then he goes to the center of the room and casts the lightning, as we're seeing here. The first projectile is always guaranteed to be a reflectable one, but the other 3 ones can all be blue balls. We need to have 6 hits to kill Aghanim, and we like to guess how many blue balls we're gonna get, and we already had 1, and that's all. Chat wasn't really guessing along. I guess I was a bit late on that anyway. Sorry about that. Oh, that's
not a word. Not a word at all. We were up with Seto up in the goodness gracious words, Christopher. We were up in Tower of Hera, and so far the hint didn't give us any, it only told us something we already knew. So no special hints up in Tower of Hera right now. And he's about to go and take himself down to Trolldorm.
Yep. And I want to point out this Inkling bunny sprite is pretty cute. It's a kid now. It's a squid now.
And great white sword strats going on right now against Trolldorm. I have to say, this is probably my least favorite part of the vanilla game, is taking down a Trolldorm with a fighter sword.
Yeah. I actually find it very, very more, like, a lot more comfortable to fight just with the hammer and not using the sword, like, charge, the spin charge, because it slows you down while you walk, and I find it a lot easier to maneuver around Moldorm and hit him with the hammer without doing the charging.
Now, I'm noticing this, and I don't know 100%, but if you have your sword out and Trolldorm touches you, it will push you further back than if you don't have your sword out, correct? Or
that is correct, but also if it's like the same direction, also Ether here in Dark Mason pod, but he does. I think he does push you a little bit further, but more importantly, when you hold the sword out and like he touches you from the front, you don't fall off. You just bounce off like the edge.
And some Titan's mitts down in one of the other dark rooms in pod. We now have full Dark World access. We can open up all those different super heavy rocks that can get us into lots of different places. We can get to Dark World on the eastern side of Death Mountain. And Sito about to give us our check on Spiral Cave, heading on down.
Goomba decides to, after clearing all of the items, not do Helmasaur King. Not gonna go for the green pendant here. I'm not sure if Goomba found all of the items in it, so I didn't count along. And is going to finish Eastern. Already here, might as well mirror over and just kill the Armless Knights. It's a crystal, so, you know.
And here we have Michael K. He seems to be taking a minute to think, to be like, where have I missed? What am I going to go do next?
And chat, Pot had the mitts and ether. We might need ether. We don't know for sure yet. Same for Bombos. And we're going to see our first check here in the Paradox Cave. from Seto. And it looks like Michael K realized that the progression is in Eastern Palace. There's the mushroom.
Definitely. Good job, Michael K, on that. He'll be getting himself caught up fairly quickly.
So that means unless progression towards the Kingdom of Somaria or the Kingdom of Somaria itself is on the match back, Aghanim is dead.
Well, we've already found out through one of the hints that the King of Somaria...
Burna.
Oh, that was Burna. You're right, that was Burna.
That was Burna, yeah. And looks like Seto decides to... What exactly? Oh, just get a potion. Alright. I thought Seto was gonna deliver the mushroom. He's gonna deliver the mushroom now. Guess they just forgot about, bringing in the mushroom and then picking up the potions.
And Chad is now calling out the number of rage slashes once the Merle is found.
Oh yeah. Well, there's half magic there. That's definitely a nice pickup. I don't think there's any runner who dislikes having half magic.
Half magic is so convenient. I know that when I'm having a bad day, I like to use cape strats against the bosses. But on top of that, I do like it because I will miss a fire rod shot on cold stare every now and then, and so I like just making sure I have that extra swing if I need it.
Yeah, looks like Seto is making their way into the village of outcasts. Meanwhile, Nilson and Alex taking down Trolldom, and Goomba is in the Maya area. It looks like Quake is the medallion required for Maya today.
We've already found 2 of our medallions, but still need to find that last one. Let's see if it's going to be over in Checkerboard Cave. It's
Bombos, apparently. I'm actually not sure. Trackers are conflicting here. Oh, it's Bombos. Okay. And Silva's in Checkerboard Cave. That's very convenient.
Seto's worked his way up into Skull Woods, and so we're going to get a few of the chest checks there.
Yeah, there's 2 items that can be in Skull Woods. Of course, both of them might be in the back half that is fire unlocked.
Let's hope that they're right here.
Not looking good. Yeah, that's the big key.
Here we count. No rage slashes, just moving on.
Yeah, I think by that point, Michael K already realized that stuff had to be there. So,
Absolutely.
He was able to make his peace with it, and Seto having a bit of trouble here with the bomb jump is going to reset the spawn point so that they spawn right at the entrance.
And our hint at the top of Death Mountain really wasn't anything important. It just said that a unique item requires a bomb.
And that's a key. Which means there's one more item, one more chest we can access here in Skullwoods, which is the back entrance behind the room with the Gyptos and the blue Baris. Let's see if Seto is going to opt to grab that one. Looks like it.
So you guys may have noticed that Goomba just walked right past that ether tablet, even though he has the book and a master's level sword. He could go check the ether tablet, but there's really no reason to because it cannot hold a progression item.
Yeah, that as I brought up earlier with the progression logic in V30, there is a bug that does not consider the master sword as like anything you can get in terms of like progression. So neither the tablets can have anything, nor can it be required to use the master sword to act as Aghanim. And there's the King of Samaria. Well, hello there. Well, let's hope that we don't need the powder, because if we need the powder, and Sato already handed in the mushroom, so Sato would have to make kill Aghanim just for the powder. Oh yeah, non-progression items can be in the talents. That's true.
So silver arrows were found in the checkerboard cave, so that's going to give Goomba a good thing when he heads for the rest of these bosses.
And there's flippers on the bumper ledge. We do have to cape, so we can grab those. That's going to become very convenient.
Now, we don't have the hook shot, and I've been waiting to see somebody walk their way across here without using the hook shot.
Oh, you can just walk along the edge. Like this top ledge there. It's a bit it's a bit fidgety, as Seth just demonstrated, but you can do it. Some runners just opt to use a bomb jump, but you can just walk past there.
It seems to be a little bit trickier than the edge walk in the mini Moldorm cave.
Oh yeah.
So with the Cane of Samaria and the mushroom, we can go ahead and do that the fake powder check on Magic Bat. Besides that, what else would the magic powder be needed for?
Safety?
Dark fairies into fairies, that makes sense.
Yeah. That's the only use the powder has. It's in terms of like progression, the only item that it can lock away is the one behind the bat. And for the sake of Seto, I do hope that the powder is not going to be required, because else that's going to be very unfortunate.
The powder being required, the only person that's going to benefit is Michael K, because Michael K has already taken Aghanim down.
Yeah. Now, of course, we would still need to find the boots to even get the powder.
This is my third time announcing, and actually both times that I've done my commentating, the boots have been required because either the Desert Palace or Ganon's Tower had a boot-locked item.
Just some bombs here on the graveyard ledge. Seto decides to pick them up to restock their bomb back. And Chad already deciding to think of the most devious items that they can think of being on the bat.
That's right, FaZe, and if it's that case, if I am the Boot Curse commentator, we'll see if it happens on the third time around. So far, we have not seen a fire rod or an ice rod in any of the dungeons or checks we have made.
Yeah. Of course, there's still Thieves' Town we have not seen yet. It looks like Seto is going to get their Master Sword at least. It's very likely they're going to route in Pyramid Check as they go south from here and go to Bahad. At least I think that's probably their next location, the next destination. Though they might just mirror over and do the Zora area instead, because now they have flippers.
And we have Michael K making his walk around Thieves' Town. We're going to get to check out the brewery in a second.
Yeah, we have not seen any of the Village of Outcasts checks. We've seen the southern area with like Big Game and Stumpy and stuff, but we have not seen the actual Village of Outcasts. Seto went straight to Skullwoods and then routed in Bumper Ledge and Graveyard Ledge. And there's a King of Berna and just some rupees in the other chest. So
Seto has found the canes.
Indeed. Cannot walk. Just some bombs on the floating island here in that mountain. I'm not sure if... actually, I'm pretty sure we've seen it before, but It looks like Michael K is going to make the dip into Thieves Town here, and we're also going to see Dark Death Mountain here on Goomba's side. I'm going to see what the required medallion for Killer Rock is, and it is Bombos.
And Bombos was that first medallion we got at the very beginning, so having a nice, quick, easy medallion hunt for this game.
Yeah. If it's required for Ice Palace, which it may just be, Byron might be in there, then it's a 3-for-1.
And now we're going to jump in and get this hint check to see maybe will tell us where the boots are.
Everybody
and we have a joke hint.
Looking for something.
Props to the people who created all those joke hints. Good job.
Yeah. Of course, you can tell a hint is a joke hint by the green text border and the link face that's either at the start or at the end. And oh, there's the fourth sword. It's
a fourth sword progression.
Indeed. So it's very likely that every runner is going to have tempered sword at least.
I think the only one that was any way out of the way was the one at Catfish, and so I bet we're going to see at least one gold sword and the rest tempered.
Yeah, Seto might be getting a gold sword, and Goomba might be getting a gold sword, depending on if any of them is going to dip into Thieves. Even if it's just for the first 4 chests, and that's very likely. Most runners at least pick those up, if nothing else.
And with all of this, it looks like Goomba's going to go ahead and make a run at Spike Cave. We have got the hammer, we've got a cape, and we've got enough health, so we'll get a chance to see what's in Spike Cave.
And we find out what is on the left side of Meyer, which is very useful. Just the bottle and the compass. So we're not going to see the left side of Meyer out of Michael K.
It'll speed up a lot because one of the firelock spots in Meyer, the one that's just to the south, it takes a while because you certainly have an animation sequence that you have to watch while you're waiting.
And chat, Kane of Samaria was in the back part of Skullwoods in that Gipto room. Yeah. And Seto indeed going to go to pod now that they've done all those checks. I assume is going to route in the pyramid after this. And depending... Go ahead.
Goomba, go ahead and making his lap around Thieves Town now as well.
Yeah. And depending on if Seto is going to pick up the Green Pendant or not, which Nilsson Alex has, I think. Or not. I'm actually not sure. Did Nilsson Alex kill Commissar? I thought I heard the little crystal child port jingle, but I'm not sure.
I'm sorry, I was over watching Michael K's screen, and Michael K just teleported his way out of Thieves Town because he realized that there was no more items in there that needed to pick up, and it's just a pendant.
No Helma. Thank you, chat. Oh, it was Armos Knights. Oh, right. Okay. Thank you. I was paying attention to like Seto and Goomba and only had Nilsson in like my peripheral vision, so
4 screens is a lot to pay attention to and try to catch what everyone's doing. It can throw you off a bit. It looks like Seto's going to be the first one to take on Helmasaur.
Not necessarily. It might just go through the Bullock side here.
Very good point.
Yeah, that's the big key for them. And a Massa Cert for Nilsson.
Michael K getting his Hype Cave mirror and bow.
And it looks like Goomba is just gonna nap that gold sword and nope out of there.
We know there's already not much in there to hunt for, so might as well keep on trucking and see what else we can find.
Yeah. So let's think here. What can we do? Logic. Ice Palace is in logic, so that one might be something we can do. We have bombos, we have the mitts, and we have flippers, like across the various runners here. So, oh yeah, the Smith chain is also something. That's true.
We're going to go ahead and return Jeremiah while we're there, and looks like Nilson Alex is on his way up. He's going to see Catfish and pick up his sword progression as well.
So, out of the four runners on the restream here, only Michael K so far has not done Catfish. I think everybody else went.
We're all going to have gold swords by the end! So I'm looking around at all the runners, and it seems that Seto is the only one that's picked up both of the canes. If you were to try to make a guess as to who is in the lead at this moment, what would you say?
Well, let's look at the item distribution here a bit. Hard to say, really. I think it's between Nielsen and Goomba, because both of them have 3 dungeons completed. Seto has not yet completed Eastern Palace. And, yeah. Oh, there are the boots!
We have found the boots! They was at the bottom of the pegs.
Yeah. Well, we have... Apparently there was a hint earlier that said that the boots are hammerlock. That would certainly qualify.
Absolutely. And this gives Goomba the silver arrows and the boots, and he's going to be moving very, very quickly through the rest of these dungeons. We are still on the lookout for the hook shot. We are still on the lookout for the fire rod. But since Turtle Rock is just a pendant, there is no necessarily need for the ice rod.
Yep, the only way we could need the ice rod is if there is an item on Trinex. And the likelihood of that, not very good, considering the item distribution we have. Excuse me. We only need the hook shot, and we're in Goma. Find a fire rod. And the fire rod can't be on, fire rod and hook shot, and fire rod cannot be on Trinex. So, the likelihood of the hook shot being on Trinex, not very big.
Yeah, I'm checking around right now to see. I think that the one closest to go mode is going to be Seto, but Seto's going to be finishing off this Palace of Darkness first.
Well, we do not know if that is going to pay off, actually. We haven't seen what Helmasaur is holding, nor what the Green Pendant is holding. So that's 2 items we don't know yet.
And we haven't seen any this item's held by a friendly person yet, so...
Yeah. Or the Village Elder, which is also which is the Green Pendant as well.
Walking into my least favorite room, the room with all the turtles. I have a very bad habit of knocking turtles right side up again.
Yeah, that room can be tough, especially without a lamp. Without a lamp, that might just be one of the hardest rooms in the game. That said, the runners do have ether. You can freeze those turtles. So, and I think that makes them visible as well.
Here's Goomba working his way back into the Dark World. Hopefully he'll make his trip northbound and go pick up his cane of Samaria and he's going down south. Instead of choosing to use sword strats as opposed to arrow strats on the Helmasaur King, I mean, he does have the Master Sword there, but he'll be taking him down very, very quickly, and we'll finally get a chance to see what is...
Just some bombs on Helmasaur, but we are going to get the Green Pendant. Sandra's probably just going to mirror over, kill the Armos Knights, and then head over to Sahasrara and that Pendant in.
While you're in the area, there's no reason not to. Nilsson picking up his flippers, giving him access to both the Ice Cave and to Swamp Palace. I'm going to give you the check on the Bonk Rocks, and it looks like we will be picking up just 20 more rupees. We are still on that hunt for that fire rod. With the mirror and the boots, Goomba is in the right area in order to do a graveyard check. We also have not checked King's Tomb yet, and all those are in logic and accessible.
Indeed. And what's also interesting is that with the boots, the Cane of Sumaria, and all the requirements we need to get into the Mire area, plus the Bombs Medallion, we can beat Mire. No runner currently has this configuration of items just yet, but it is on the table soon enough. Will be soon enough for one of the runners at least. Whoever is gonna pick up either the boots or Seto and Goomba, or Seto and Nilsson, sorry, or the King of Somalia on Goomba's side. And Goomba is making those boots checks now. Just a red boomerang here in King's Tomb.
And Nilsson picking up his checkerboard silver arrows, giving him a much quicker Ganon fight. And Goomba is his way up into... Are you going up north? We're going to Ice Palace. We're heading up north. We're going to check the he'll be able to pick up his Cane of Burna.
Yeah, I don't think Goomba has done the Zora area yet, so... And indeed, Nilsson Alex at least is opening up Misery Mire here.
Indeed, and we already got a hint earlier saying that we're not going to need to check the Firelock side of Misery Mire, so Misery Mire may go a little bit faster.
Let there be light. And Nilsson Alex remembering, I don't have hookshot or boots. I can't make it across that gap in the first room.
That is true.
Oops.
Unless you can create a new way of getting over there right now. Is that not a bombable gap?
No, you can't bomb jet across that gap. And just some rupees off of Sahasrara. So, the runners that opted to skip out on killing Helmasaur, which are the left-hand side here on the restream, made a good decision, while Michael K and Seto probably not very happy about all of this.
It's a risk one has to take going for the green pendant dungeon, but same thing with your red crystals. You still need the red crystals in order to beat Ganon, but like, do you take the time to walk all the way around with that big bomb to get into the Great Fairy or not?
And Goomba is doing something that is actually very smart. Not knowing, I don't know if Goomba checked the Lumberjack ledge, but not knowing what the Magic Bat has, decides to reset after heading in the Mushroom and seeing, okay, that's how Magic probably will hand it back in and pick it up later. But, like, right now, okay, I don't have Cane of Somaria, and I don't know if there's going to be progression on the Magic Bat, so resets and keeps it so he can do the fake particle glitch later.
That makes a lot of sense, because you don't know where the powder is, don't want to necessarily go over and check the... don't want to have to kill Aghanim in order to get the powder. Yeah, resetting there, he didn't get anything from it, so he only lost about 30-40 seconds doing that.
Hmm. And looks like Nilsson Alex is going to be getting his boots momentarily here. Probably going to be very happy about that. And I think Goomba is making the play into ice now.
These boots are made for running, and that's what we're going to do.
The shoes.
So Seto's making his way into Ice Palace using the Bombo strats.
Yeah, so we have basically synced Ice Palace here, just off of off by like a couple of seconds. I think that's the second one, a second item that says a unique item requires a bomb, which is not very helpful.
With this, Seto has now taken out Pod. He has taken out Eastern Palace, and he's working his way through Ice Palace. So he's got 4 bosses down, and the only 3 of them are crystal bosses.
Yeah. So just numerically speaking, in terms of defeated bosses, Seto is currently ahead. But of course, one of them is a pendant boss that also did not have any value whatsoever. So, and Nielsen Alex, now with the boots, decides, all right, I have you now, Meyer.
Tag, my turn.
It falls into the pit. Yeah, that getting that bonk is a little iffy. Like, you have to line it up kind of... it's kind of hard to line it up. So,
And here we have both Goomba and Seto about to take on the first trick everyone should learn when you start to do Randomizer, and that is the Ice Palace Bomb Jump.
Yeah.
So just to be specific, the way that I learned how to do this trick is that you set yourself up by holding your sword facing into the door and let the door kind of push you over so you're lined up entirely against the wall, and back up as far as you can. Swing, drop a bomb, set up the sword hold again, and move yourself down until you're at that just right angle, and the bomb should blow you over top of the edge.
Yeah, I don't really have... I haven't really put much time into learning it, so I had it at some point, but I kind of like forgot how to do it because I so rarely play this myself. So maybe I'll use your strat. I'll keep that in mind.
I think. Well, I'm nowhere near consistent. I'm only about 25% consistent on that trick right now. But I did spend about an hour and a lot of bombs and a lot of save states to make sure I got that right.
And chat just say, "You'll just hover it."
My name is Lord FOMO, not Andy.
Yeah, so far, Ice Palace has not yielded a lot of results.
Not thus far, and Ice Palace goes very, very quickly if you are in go mode, but there are so many chests in here that can be checked. The odds of there being a progression item in here is usually pretty good.
Wow. Excuse me about that, and wow. Yeah, that just gives me the hiccups. Telling us where the Arabic key is. Wow, thanks.
I have heard that when we come up with the next set of logic that the hints will be placed in more useful areas. Sorry, let me rephrase that. The hints will be in the same locations, but we're not going to get hints from the beginning of the game all the way at the very end.
And Nielsen Alex never found that hint about Meyer, so does not know that there's just rubbish here in the Firelock side, and particularly the cutscene room. I think it was like a bottle and a compass. So yeah.
I thought there was supposed to be a shield down here, but you could be right about the bottle and compass.
Yeah, it could be a shield. It was something that's not useful, and a compass. I definitely remember the compass. And even the hint is just trash. Wow. Some caching.
22 chests. You think one of them might be cash?
Yeah. Even more than 22. It's like that also counts like the chests in the upper part of Ganon's tower and like the big chest as well. So
I didn't even think about that. That's a lot of chests.
yeah, it's like 26 or 27 chests in total. 27, yeah.
And Goomba gonna make his way down to take Cold Stare out.
And Nilsson is gonna have to be very careful here. He's down to a half heart, and Meyer does not fool around with damage values.
And Michael K picking up his boots and gonna return Jeremiah in a quick second.
And it looks like we found 2 bottles already here in Ice Palace.
And Nilsson using that wonderful fairy that he picked up earlier to be able to continue through Misery Mire. And since we have the big key, we're going to go ahead and do the back end and take on Vitreous. Vitreous will be pretty easy because we do have the silvers.
Yeah, that is true. With Silver Arrows, just like with most other bosses, it's blink and you miss it. What's a fun fact about Vitreous actually is that other than Ganon, Vitreous, like the main eyeball, is the only other enemy that takes more than 1 Silver Arrow to kill of those that can be hit with them.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. And I've used the silvers as much as possible, and even then, it takes more than 1 silver, so it takes an extra third of a second. Oh darn!
So, we've seen Ice Palace. There was nothing there. Looks like Goomba even is like... Goomba is deciding, oh, okay, so maybe there's something in the green... on Hamilsar or the Green Dependent. That's 2 items. A reasonably quick check, I guess, and like, you also set up for the pedestal if that is needed, which, by the way, might be required. The hookshot can be on there. It is our aside from the fire rod, is our one of our 2 go mode items here.
They're doing great work with just the Master Sword against Cold Stare.
Using cave strats, very smart. And there's the fire rod on Vitreous.
So we're doing Misery Mire before we're taking out Skull Woods. Fire rod on Vitreous.
Well, the fire rod does open up some additional location, particularly, of course, the back of Skull Woods.
Absolutely, and there are those 2 chests that are in the back of Skull Woods. 2 or 1, I think there's maybe 1 chest that could possibly have a progression item.
I think we have not seen Skull Woods have any items whatsoever, like the front part. So, oh, actually, no, we did find 1 item. We found the King of Sumari, like, in the Gipter room. So there is 2... Yeah, there's 2 locations. One of them has the item that we're looking for. And chat pointing out, yeah, Skullwoods also is a required double dip, like Eastern Palace. So that's already 2 dungeons that we have had to double dip.
Absolutely. And so we have Nilsson Alex going to head his way on to the backside, take out the bat, and hopefully find that progression item that we need. Hopefully we're looking for that hook shot.
Yeah. So if it's not here in Skull Woods, where else could it be?
We do have access to a lot of things in Turtle Rock, and we don't need the hookshot to get into Swamp Palace. It may be vanilla. The
that's true. The hookshot might be in the front part or the left side of Swamp Palace, or in Turtle Rock, or of course on the pedestal. Given the fact that Nilsson Alex has the book and a mirror, we might see a pedestal check from his side here after beating Mothula. Looks like he's going to check the chest first, in the hopes of finding the item.
Are we looking for a pedestal seed here?
I mean, with the Aghanim fake out, I feel like a pedestal seed would be just rude. And
we've had an Aghanim fake out. We've had late boots. I mean, we're pushing this pretty late, and so if it does end up being on pedestal, then we have to complete Turtle Rock, which means now we have to find the ice rod.
Yeah, and looks like the item is gonna be on Mothula. Oh yeah, Powder could also be having hookshot. That's true, chat.
And Michael K, like a boss, hovering over the ice rod bomb jump.
Doing the swanky strats here.
Michael K is getting all my swag points because of that hover right there, and also for beating Aghanim with the bug catching net.
All right.
I'm not really sure how many swag points are we allowed to give away on any given race.
I don't think there's any limit, except for the sky. Nice. Oh, okay. We did find both of the items in the Skullwoods then. All right. I'm sorry. I must have missed one of the items.
That's okay. I did too.
What else did we get but the Cane of Samaria?
I'm sure it could have just been, arrows or 20 rupees.
Yeah, probably. And pulling out the mirror. We're gonna see a pet check here on Nilsson Alex's side, or maybe not. Oh, okay.
No ped check. It shall remain a secret. He's going to go ahead and jump into Swamp Palace with the hope that the hook shot is buried in the vanilla location.
Was getting all excited to see if we need the pedestal, but looks like Nilsson Alex is banking on it not being a pedestal. And leaves the contents a mystery.
There's still the possibility of the stuff being in Turtle Rock, and it would make sense if he doesn't find anything here, he could run up to Turtle Rock. It's also possible that the hookshot could be on the one bonkable chest in Hookshot Cave.
That is true, yeah. I actually had a hookshot be there once, which is very rude. And it looks like Nilsson Alex is gonna opt to dip into Swamp Palace here.
I have seen the mushroom on the bonkable chest, and then the mushroom led me to the hookshot.
Oh man, chat already concocting up the worst options here for what could be required. Why do you want to torment Seto so much?
Chat's a little bit safer because they don't have commentators curse, so they can't actually affect the game, but we can. So let's be careful what we say to make this not go forever.
I mean, I did already do the commentator's blessings. Well, I guess it was kind of a curse from Michael K, but
we are an hour and 13 into an open sea, and no one has hit go mode yet. Although a couple of them have beaten 5 dungeons already. So once we hit go mode, it should be a quick race.
Yeah. At that point, like we can get all of the dungeons done except for Swamp Palace currently. So Swamp Palace, of course, one of the dungeons with the highest item density. 6 items are hiding away here. Of course, we're not going to get all of them because there are going to be some in the backside.
Right, then even if we find the big key is not going to stop us from getting do the backside at the hook shot that locks us out of the backside. Also, without the hook shot, we can't get that one key that's right there on his right side.
Yeah. So we're going to have to we can't steal that and do the left side lever. We have to take the long route. of picking up that key and then flood the room.
I can't tell you how many times with that one block right there that I've pushed the block and then pressed the mirror to try to get it to disappear.
Oh.
And then I feel like I did something wrong.
Well, yeah, that does not work in proper dungeons. That only works in caves.
I learned that lesson very quickly. We did get a check on the Bonkrok and on King's Tomb, and neither one of them held anything for us.
Yeah, the King's Tomb had a red boomerang, and I forgot what Goomba did them. The King's Tomb had the red boomerang, I think, and I forgot what the Bonkrok's were. I think it was like bombs or something.
I also don't think we've hit Super Bunny Cave yet.
Oh yeah, we haven't been to Dark Death Mountain. We've seen one of the runners go like the Turtle Rock route, but and open up Turtle Rock. But I think they just went like the backset path.
Yeah, absolutely correct. They didn't bother to go into the dark side, the dark world at that particular moment. I'm pretty sure the person who checked Turtle Rock didn't have the cane of Samara yet.
Yeah. And Vitreous here on set of side. Gonna go down very quickly.
And they'll get their fire rod and make their way to take care of the moth.
Some spicy dicks here on Vitreous today.
We'll get these last two checks, and unfortunately we don't have the hook shot, so we can't do both chest checks in one drop.
Yeah. And a heart piece for convenient refill. We also don't have the big key, so we can't go back to the big chest and open that up, so, yeah. Turtle Rock's starting to look more and more likely at this point.
That it is. A Turtle Rock run might be in order, and since I'm hearing that whistle, I think that's where we're going to be heading up to. Here, before taking the dip all the way into Turtle Rock, if I would probably go ahead and check the Super Bunny Cave and check the Bonkable Chest in the Hookshot Cave, just hoping.
And down Vitreous goes here for Goomba. Fire Rod, crystal number 5 for them.
And for just a moment, we had 3 of our runners all inside of Misery Mire.
Yeah. It looks like Seto did not pick up that hint either about the left-hand mire, so I'm dipping back in to pick up whatever is there. I know one of them is the compass. Seto probably knows that and will mirror out after this. Yeah, it's the ball. Yeah, okay. Seto checks, double checks in the inventory, sees, okay, I have no compass here. So, just picks up that 4th bottle and is done with Mire.
So looking at the dungeons we have beaten, we're just looking for, at least for Nilsson Alex's Swamp Palace and Ice Palace. For Seto, we're looking for Swamp Palace and Woods. And so I guess that's exactly where Seto's going. Seto's heading away up to Skull Woods right now.
Yeah, Seto is going to pick... Oh, okay, it's just Quake on the Magic Bat. So thankfully, nothing that we're going to need to beat the game or find a hook shot. So that's good. That means that Seto's decision to drop the mushroom into the Witch's Hut for the Hall of Magic, and Nilsson Alex's decision as well, is not going to come back to bite them into their behinds.
So I think...
Go ahead.
I think now we can call Aghanim unnecessary.
Yes, we can. 1 hour and nearly 20 minutes in, we know 100% confirmed that Aghanim is not required.
And now we have a universal dead Vitreous.
Need all 4 runners here on the restream have beaten Vitreous and picked up the Fire Rod. That makes crystal number 4 here for Michael K.
This is going to be a rough check to make going into Turtle Rock to try to check these chests to find this hook shot. Oh, but he was just opening it up, and now he's going to work his way over, and he's going to check the Super Bunny Cave and the bonkable chest.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And round number 2.
Yeah, that bar is annoying. I like to take it out first before I attempt my bongs because it can mess up the crossing
and the most
there.
valuable item in the game on the bong chest was the single arrow.
Yeah, no, I think we've seen the single arrow already, so I come in. Accidentally picks up the pot. Yeah, that bonk is a bit hard to line up. The second one, it is. The first one's kind of easy, but the second one's kind of rough. Because the shadow is like kind of treacherous in like how it portrays where you are in relation to the pit and the ledge. Oh, it is a single arrow.
Yeah, Goomba grabbed it before Nissan.
Oh, I didn't see that. All right, I thought you were making a joke.
I understand that I usually make jokes, but
and Google remembers I don't have the hook shot, so I have to take the long route.
and lots of money in the Super Bunny Cave. So we have made all of these checks. Somebody, I'm sure while they were there, they checked what was on the ledge on top of Death Mountain. So we're going to go dip into Turtle Rock and see what we can find. Hopefully, we'll find what we're looking for early, and if not, an ice rod so we can complete the whole dungeon.
Yeah. And it looks like Nilsson Alex also decides to go into Turtle Rock. There are some runners who do not like going into Ice Palace, even if, it would be a crystal option that they can beat.
And we had Seto up top who was going to give us a pedestal tease, but he decided to opt out and fly away.
All right, Turtle Rock. What secrets do you hold for us? All right, it's the hook shot. Go ahead.
If Turtle Rock does not hold the hook shot or the ice rod,
well, we don't have to continue this hypothesis any longer because Goomba has found the hook shot and the chain chomp room, and that means at 1 hour 23 minutes and something, Goomba is in go mode.
off we go. Sorry about that. I didn't catch it when I was trying to make my comment. Goomba has already cleared out most of Swamp Palace. So we'll be heading in there, zipping right over and taking out our... What's his name?
Argus.
That's right, thank you.
Gonna watch this, the bottom left side of the screen with Argus eyes.
Ooh, set it up, why don't you?
Mythology jokes.
I'm waiting for the moon pearl to appear on Hobo so I can make the pearl's your oyster joke.
And 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 42 seconds. Nielsen Alex, go mode.
2 runners in go mode. Both alike in fashion, except one already has the Quake and the Boomerang.
Yeah. And Nielsen Alex also makes a beeline for completing Swamp Palace. Just needs to walk through the dungeon and then the back half of it. Looks like your prognosis of us having a lot of gold swords is not going to hold true. Nielsen Alex is not going to pick up that gold sword in Peacetown. And I'm not sure if Seto is going to pick up the sword on the Pyramid Ledge. Found the Tempered Sword here in Peacetown. And same goes for Michael K. I'm not sure if Michael K is going to go to Catfish.
Your memory astounds me that you remember which ones they hadn't picked up yet. Great job.
I try.
Run through Swamp Palace, and it looks like we have Seto is going to step into the Dark World again.
Yeah, Seto is probably also going to think, okay, I'm going to do the front of Swamp Palace first, and if the hookshot is not there, Turtle Rock has to be jumped.
So we had to make a double dip into Eastern Palace just to progress into the Dark World. We had to make a dip into Turtle Rock in order to find the item we needed to complete Swamp Palace. And we definitely dipped into Thieves Town, although I don't think we found any items of progression in there.
No, only a sword upgrade was there. I think Michael Key cleared all of the items there. And, except for that sword upgrade, there was nothing there. Maybe a shield? I'm not sure. And Michael K tries to hover across that gap in Paradox Cave. Does not get it, sadly. And we are on Argus here, on Goomba's side. After killing this boss, it's only Skull Woods left for them, and then we're off to Gannett's Tower.
With that being said, are we going to play the game, my friend?
Let's just wait a little while until Goomba is at Macula, I would say. Plenty of time to start it once.
That is absolutely correct. I forgot that he still has one more boss to take care of.
Yeah, indeed.
And Nilsson, after he completes Swamp Palace, will still have to take care of Ice Palace. But Ice Palace, when you're in go mode, goes very, very quickly.
Hookshot was in the chain jump room, chat. And Michael K dropped the pot. Tries to hover. Decides, nah, I'm just gonna reset the room. Probably could have better. Gets his single arrow. Certainly is gonna be very happy about that. And make his way over to Tower Hera, which he has not cleared yet. Or Spike Cave, I guess. Oh, he did Tower Hera Ray. Sorry, I missed that completely. My bad.
And now Argus is about to fall prey to Nilsson Alex, and he will be on his way to Ice Palace.
And until we see the credits, we're still not going to know what is on the pedestal, I think. So.
At this point in time, pedestal could have a shield or an armor upgrade. Other than that...
Or the... Oh, no, yeah, the blue boomerang is in the library, isn't it? Yeah, you're right.
We found both boomerangs. We know where the powder is. Ice Rod can't be there because you have to be able to take out Trinax.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. So, yeah, can only be the red mail or a shield upgrade.
Or any of the other junk items.
Yeah, of course. So with the Golden Sword, Mothula is a real pushover. Mothula goes down. We have 7 crystals here on Goomba's side, which means we are now going to play our little game. Why don't you explain which game we're playing here in the Speed Gaming Network?
So chat, get your guesses in. What we're going to be doing is you're trying to guess which chest are we going to find the big key in. As we go into Ganon's Tower, there are 22 chests that you can check. Of course, the longest one being the tile room. So we're hoping that to be on the tile room. But get your guesses in as to where you think the big key is going to be at. What's your check going to be, Red?
I'm gonna say today the chest is going. The key is going to be in Bob's chest.
In Bob's chest, the lantern, you mean?
No, not the lantern. The room above the ice.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. All right.
Yeah.
I am going to go ahead and just throw out the number 2. I like the number 2. I think once we're in go mode, let's go.
We do not use the bot during daily racing. For various reasons. Mainly because there is no delay on there's no delay on the runners here, so some cheeky person could just go over, see who's in the lead, and then put in the key number. And that's kind of unfair. So we're not gonna we don't do it. We are gonna see a pet check here from Seto, but yeah, we're not gonna do leaderboards for the dailies.
And we have cash.
Aww.
Fun, but I guess it's a good thing the rest of them chose not to run up and do the pet check. It's more fun for us to do the pet check.
Yeah. I definitely would get Thief's Town and Turtle Rock completed for 20 rupees, so, you know, I'm a cheapskate.
Off we go. And it's just a regular key on top of the lantern.
Which does mean that we're not going to see Bob today, which is unfortunate. Rip Bob. And Michael K. using the fact that he killed Aghanim to his advantage and picks up the powder here. Nice safety to have. I don't think he has done the fake powder. So.
There's the ice rod.
Well, there's the ice rod. Time to mirror out and kill Trinix and get those 20 rupees.
We're 5 chests in. We have not found ourselves a big key yet.
That was 2 keys, but none of them big. So we're gonna proceed through the right here. Let's see if Goomba is going to go full right and thus initiate what is colloquially known as the Dark Magician strat, or if Goomba is going to mirror out after clearing those 4 chests on the right here.
We've checked 7 chests so far. Once we get through this next room, we'll be able to check numbers 8
through 11, yep. Pack of 10 bombs, a compass, heart piece, and another heart piece with a convenient refill. Gonna grab that key at least, if nothing else. And no Dark Magician. We're just gonna mirror back out from the right side and proceed through the left.
The next chest we're going to be looking at will be number 12.
That will be the firebar room.
So elaborate to me again, which one is Bob's chest?
That room with the bombable floor above the ice armors, that one is the room where that weird anti-fairy glitch happens in that turns that anti-fairy into Bob. Of course, we won't see that today because we got the item from the torch. But That's why that particular one is called Bob's chest, because it's the chest that Bob the Anti-Fairy is sitting on.
You learn something new every day. Thanks so much.
Keyboard is posting the little Hi Bob sprite there that we have as a little Frankenface emote. So we're coming up to chest number 13, I think this should be. Here in the Fire Snake room. Map. Random room.
12? Because we had 11 on the right side. That's the first one since the right side, so that'll be number 12.
Oh, no, there was the Firebar room as well. Before that
correct.
one. Yeah, so we are at 13. So we are into random room now, which is going to be chest 14, 15, 16, and 17. Cool. So it's either in Bob's chest or on the Ice Armos.
So we're looking at next chest is going to be 18, 1 through 17. We are out. And we have some mean people in the chat again saying, come on, tile room.
I mean, it's possible.
The tile room's not that bad once you have the cape and you just grab onto that wall and tug.
Yeah, there is this little glitch that when you do an action while using the cape, you do not drain any magic, and pulling on a wall, that's counted as an action. So yeah, this is Bob's chest here. This room here, that bottom right fairy, anti-fairy is usually turned into that Bob sprite, that glitched sprite. And it was a key, but it wasn't the big one. So here we are at Disney on Ice.
The Dancing Armos Knights will go down very quickly with those silver arrows.
Indeed. So, there it is, Vanilla, which was chest number 19.
Chest 19. Let's go ahead and do a check back on chat to see where we ended up.
Orphanox, guest first. Congratulations, you get a free trip to the top of Ganon's Tower on the back of the Bat Ganon form.
Great job to our number 19 for Orphanox.
And we are into the gauntlet here. Meanwhile, looks like Nils and Alex took a death in Ice Palace, which is especially painful because you get sent back to the start of the dungeon, and Ice Palace is not a super quick dungeon to clear the first part of.
That is true. It also looks as though Michael K has decided to go ahead and dip into Swamp Palace, hoping for the vanilla location for the hook shot. And unfortunately, we know he's not going to find that. But here is Seto right now walking into the Chain Chomp room, and he's about to find his hook shot and will be warping out and running off as fast as he can.
Boing! Alright, let's yeah, gold sword, silver arrows, half magic. Oh, okay. Actually, Goomba never went and picked half magic back up. So, but gold sword and silver arrows, regardless, make the gauntlet not too tough. Let's see if we see Zero Cycle here. Sadly, no. Does snipe that second Lanmola that just wanted to go into the ground from afar.
See, what I'm missing right now is that golden bee. I know when I go through the gauntlet, I love having that golden bee with me.
Yeah, we not. Interestingly enough, I don't think any of the bottles we found had a bee in it. So, which is kind of.
We found all 4 bottles, so...
Yeah, we did. Which is kind of rare, actually, that we find all 4 bottles and none of them has a bee in
it. Golden bee strats. Perfect for Gauntlet and for... Actually, I love it when I get the golden bee at the very beginning and I use it in Mini Moldworm Cave.
Yeah, that's one of the more commonly used strats. I also, personally, if I don't have, like, a good sword, or like a lot of magic left, I like using the Bee Mothula because it does a bit of damage to it as well. And we are going to see momentarily Moldern 2 on the side of Goomba here. Meanwhile, Nielsen Alex is approaching Colster's chamber, and Sato is going through Swamp Palace. I think it's probably going to be a bit of a race between those two runners, because they're fairly close together. This is each runner's last crystal.
I believe so. I think Nielsen Alex is on his last crystal because he needs to finish Ice Palace and he is off. Seto has the hook shot, and so once he finishes off Swamp Palace, he will be off.
Yep, and so there's not going to be like a lot of time. Sato is going to be like a couple seconds behind. He's not going to bother picking up any chests, of course. Why would you? You know, there's nothing of value you can find.
And some hookshot rage coming out of Goomba as he walks into Aga 2.
Yeah. And Michael K realizing, okay, maybe it's in Turtle Rock.
When you have seeds like this where you do have items that are buried back in the dungeons, I know I tend to try to catch all the overworld items first, whether it be dark side or light side and that kind of stuff. So it's just really frustrating. Oh, we got to dip into Turtle Rock. Here we go. Let's hope the item we need is not on Laser Bridge.
Nielsen Alex gonna stock up on potions here. Not a bad idea. Has all 4 bottles even, and all the money in the world to spare. So having some safety is never a bad idea. And makes their way up Ganon's Tower, and hot on his heels is going to be Seto. Let's see if Seto is going to opt to stock up on potions first, or going straight to Ganon's Tower. And it looks like, yeah, okay, we're going to see a few potions here as well. While Goomba is going into Ganon here. Already in phase 2, with the Gold Sword, Ganon is going to go down very fast.
For the questions in chat, we did find the hook shot. It was in Turtle Rock at the Chain Chomp room, and the hook shot was that last item that we needed before hitting go mode.
And Ganon goes down here on Gooma's side. All we have to do now is cross the bridge, and we have our first finisher here on the restream. GG to Goomba.
GG Goomba, well done. Everyone get your GGs in chat.
And let's see here real quick.
And here we have Nielsen Alex making his way into Ganon's Tower to go ahead and start his exploration for the Big Key. We know that the Big Key is actually in its vanilla location behind the Dancing Armos Knights. And here we have Goomba who's going to come and join us in chat for a little bit of an interview. So once they come on in, we'll be able to chat a little bit, figure out how they felt about the run. Welcome, Goomba. GG. Good race.
Oh, GG's.
GG.
Any thoughts? How do you feel about the run?
It went pretty good. I just wish I hadn't put off Skullwoods for so long.
Skullwood's holding the Cane of Samaria was kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Then there was the whole, like, I was down to Skullwoods without the Fire Rod, Misery Mire without the Cane, Swamp without the Hookshot, or going back to Helmasaur King for the 2 items. And I figured, okay, this bow hasn't actually led to anything. Because while I got the mitts in pod, they weren't actually locked behind the bow at all. So I thought, okay, maybe Helmasaur King does have something. Turns out he did not.
Oh, he did not have anything, and then the Helmasaur King, we were sitting there hoping, and Helmasaur King leads to the green pendant, and that didn't lead to anything. A lot of what happened in this seed is that you had to go into another dungeon you weren't expecting to find the item you needed for the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
sad the hookshot wasn't on the magic Batman. I was holding that mushroom for so long in an attempt to skip Aghanim, but nope.
Yeah, there were like 2 of the restream runners here, Seto and Nilson Alex, actually just dropped the mushroom and picked up Pulse Magic. And luckily, Powder did not hold any progression for them.
Yeah, that could have been bad.
Yeah, and just in. So you took 3rd overall with a official SRL time of 1 hour 23 seconds. Bonta took 1st with 1 hour 36:21. Fennig 2nd with 1:40:39. And we have Sabotender 1 hour 43:49 and Illos 1:44:17 for 4th and 5th place respectively. So 3rd overall, 1st on Restream, pretty respectable.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this result.
So one question I do have is, you got the lamp, a sword, and a cape very early on, and most of the runners' last locations, Eastern Palace. Going into Eastern Palace, how high did you think was the chance going to be that you'd find a Moon Pearl and the other item you needed for Dark Relaxes in there?
I thought it was pretty unlikely. I figured I would just get the Moon Pearl. Or worse, I would get nothing and the Moon Pearl was just sitting on the pyramid the whole time. But turns out Aghanim was just total bait.
Yeah, talk about a red herring there. And it's literally red to that cave.
It's probably the biggest bait that I've seen, because when you're going through the very beginning and you're not getting any sort of items of significance, you know, you're picking up the shovel, you're picking up the cape, you're picking up the bug catching net, you're like, oh, this is gonna be an Agaseed.
Yeah. I'm just glad it was the Moon Pearl that was so hidden, because if I had the Moon Pearl, I probably would have pulled the trigger on Aghanim.
Yeah,
We're going to Eastern.
Yeah, one of the runners on the Eastern, Michael K, actually did decide to gamble that Aghanim was going to be required instead of those 2 items being in Eastern Palace. So sadly did not work out for them, yeah. But still, yeah, that was interesting seed actually. Actually, I feel like the 2 required double dips were pretty interesting into Skullwoods and Eastern.
Yeah. But, I mean, Eastern double dips are pretty commonplace, because it's a Sphere 1 location, generally. You'll probably find some early progression in there, and the bow tends to hide. So it's not that uncommon to have to double dip the dungeon.
Did not really hide all that well this seed.
Yeah, which made me very suspicious, hence why I went to Palace of Darkness pretty much immediately.
Yeah, but it did pay off. It did pay off that you went to the pod fairly early on, because there was the time smiths there, so...
Yeah, those were pretty nice.
In addition, all of our runners did a double dip into Swamp Palace, because everyone was hoping for that vanilla hookshot.
Yeah, see, I thought about it, but I figured, okay, if it's in there and someone gambles on it, whatever. Guess I lose. But it's Pendant Turtle Rock. There's always something in Pendant Turtle Rock.
Yeah, So Thief's Town did not really hold any value, luckily. So skipping the backside did pay off for you as well.
Yeah, I mean, I got 3 of the 4 items right off the bat, I figured. What are the odds the one item back is actually anything important?
Yeah.
And I wasn't too worried because even if it was something important, I figured most runners would do the same thing. And if we're all doomed to last location progression, whatever.
Those are all doomed. We had a bunch of teases from the runners because it wasn't until just recently that someone decided to check the pedestal, and we're all sitting there wondering what's going to be on the pedestal, and you and one of the other runners were right there and like, nope, and just flew away instead.
Yeah, but one runner did. I think it was Michael K. did check the pedestal. Turned out it was just money. So yeah, I mean the thing is like the hook shot could have been on there like the entire time.
Yeah, I thought about checking, like killing Mothula and checking the pedestal before I went up to Turtle Rock, but I had just blown all my magic to fake powder, so I think I did have a potion. But if it was on pedestal, I still needed the ice rod to show up. I mean, it would have just been in Turtle Rock anyway, but you know.
So we have 2 of our runners, Nilsson, Alex, and Cito, are both in Ganon's Tower. It looks like Cito's about 2 minutes and 15 seconds behind in the run. We have Michael K., who is still in Swamp Palace, they're in go mode, just trying to finish off their last boss before they make their run up to Ganon's Tower as well.
Yeah. And one of our trackers here, Face, corrects me. Sato was the one who checked the pedestal early on, and Michael K. checked it just for the memes. Oh, and Michael Key doing the poke strats. I always find that to be pretty swanky. Did not get the Zero Cycle, sadly, but I always love seeing that poke strat. It's so cool. And Nilsson Alex takes a fall here on Moldrum too, which gives Sato ample time to catch up a bit.
Last I checked, Seto was about 2 minutes behind, so but giving it a chance to catch up, absolutely, because Fall on Ganon can do the same thing to you.
Yeah. And the last possession here of Moldorm is just some bombs, so yeah. Nilsson Alex making his way up to Aghanim 2. So gonna have our second finisher in short order here. Well, the second...
Sorry about that.
Second finish on this restream, I just wanted to correct myself. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Michael K. has now finished off his last boss. He is on his way up to Ganon's Tower as well to get started.
Right. Man, this those conveyor belts sometimes are a pain in the backside. Sometimes a bit particular in if they allow you to toss the bomb on them.
That particular room is tricky. I think it's the timing of the bomb, but also that great big huge spike that goes side to side. There's Seto taking a fall as well.
Yeah, and the sad part about that was that Moldorm was dead. So got knocked off from that from that hit, and of course Moldorm respawns now. So we'll have to defeat Moldorm again. Meanwhile, Nilsson, a very clean Aghanim 2 fight is onto Ganon here, using Cave Strats on phase 2. Seto falls again. That's unfortunate. Unlikely we'll be able to catch up here with Nilsson.
That's correct. Seto was running at about 2 minutes behind. I think we're probably sort of on that line right now. And Nilsson Alex, he's got the silvers. He's got himself a tempered sword. He's going to be able to take out Ganon. So unless we have like 3 falls, I think this next ranking is going to go to Nilsson.
Yeah, and of course, Nilsson also has a gorillion potions, so absolutely nothing to worry about. The only danger is potentially falling to like getting knocked off by Ganon spawning or a fire bat.
I love that number. I'm going to start using it.
What number?
Gorillion?
Oh, a gorillion, yeah. And Ganon goes down here on Nilsson Alex's side just as Seto enters Aghanim 2.
Absolutely, and so Aghanim 2 will go down. Oh, he still has at least one more hit on him. Here we have Michael K making his run around. He will be looking for the big key, which we know is actually in its vanilla location.
And Nilsson Alex takes 11th place with 1 hour 25 seconds.
And now we get to see another Ganon fight coming up right for Seto. Welcome, Nilsson Alex. GG, buddy.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was not fun at all.
It was a bit of a rough race. It was a very slow beginning, and the logic kept leading everyone in the different directions that we actually needed to go.
Yeah, I skipped out an Ice Palace, went to Mr. Meyer because I thought... Actually, I forgot that Ice Palace was crystal, so I went to Mr. Meyer, thought the hookshot was there, and it was not there. Went to Swamp Palace, it was not there, so Third Rock was to play, and it was there. So thankfully, I understood. I listened to the music and understood it was a pendant. So otherwise, that could have been much longer for me today.
Absolutely. The Swamp Palace is a play that everybody made. They were really hoping for that vanilla hookshot there, but it ended up being, of course, as you know, in Turtle Rock.
Yeah. It's like last time I did daily. Monday it was 5 Ice Rod on Laser Bridge. Today it was hookshot in Turtle Rock, so it's always Turtle Rock.
Especially to hit Pendant Turtle Rock, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's always fun when it's Turtle Rock. Like, I skipped out on these towns, so I could have gone there, but felt more logical. Felt more like logical to go to Turtle Rock.
1 second here. Seto finishes up here. He crosses the bridge, and GG's to Seto. Finishes in 16th place. 1 hour, 57 minutes, and 59 seconds. GG's.
GG's.
Jesus Seto. And here Michael K is picking up his big key, so he'll be zipping back to the beginning so he can start his gauntlet run now.
Sadly, no sub 2 hours for Michael K here.
Did Michael do something differently, or?
Michael K did not go into Eastern Palace and did Aghanim instead.
Oh, yeah. I was actually thinking about doing Aghanim, to be honest, but I went into Eastern Palace, and thankfully that saved me.
Everyone was looking at Aghanim. Michael K just made the call, and it was a really good call. Had the had anything really been right behind Aghanim?
I mean, I have seen Michael K do that play before, like go and check Sarashala early, and then never coming back before having a bow. So I understood why he did that, and I would probably do the same. Do Aghanim before.
Yeah, I think that Michael K was speculating or gambling that the likelihood of both the required items for Dark World Access being on Eastern Palace was kind of unlikely, and like statistically speaking, it is very unlikely. But sadly, both the hammer and the moon pearl, of course, being in Eastern, threw a wrench into this this gamble.
Yeah, I went into. I even did. I even did Aura before Eastern Palace because we had so much rupees, so I felt like, well, why not do Sora? Like, maybe he gets something, but 20 rupees, yay!
Speaking of Zora, Michael Key even set up that bottle glitch with the fairy to get to Zora Ledge in case there was something there. So
it was like
but it was trash.
Yeah.
Pulling out all of the contingencies and then deciding, you know what, it's so likely that it's Aghanim. We got the cape, we got the sword, we got the lamp so early on.
No, when we started off with the lamp and all that, I was like, yeah, and I think we got cape really early as well, and I was like, yeah. This is Aghanim. But Eastern saved my ass. I can say it like that. Not many times I go into Crystal Eastern before having the bow, but today was the correct day to do that.
But we still have you here. What exactly in that particular run would you find was the most frustrating moment?
Oh god, there were so much frustrating moments for me, at least. I felt behind when I did Hyrule Castle, so that's why I gamble a lot. I did a lot of stupid gambles. I didn't check the big chest in Skull Woods. I forgot some chest in Pod. But I think the most frustrating for me was like I died some Ice Palace. I died at Cold Stair, so I had to redo the whole dungeon, and it's never fun to do the whole dungeon again.
The least favorite one to have to redo because there's so many little tricks that you have to pull off. Not the least to mention is the bomb jump, but it's a frustrating one to have to double dip on.
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
Welcome to Cedo. GG's, good game.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, GG's to everyone. That was a seed.
GG, Cedo.
It was a heck of a seed. There was a lot of frustrations. There was a lot of double dipping, and just trying to find all these items.
Yeah, that hook shot.
It's okay. Everyone decided to go for the play into Swamp Palace before going to Turtle Rock, so we kind of it all equalized itself out that way.
Yeah, to be honest, I was thinking about Turtle Rock, and I was like, well, there was that unique item behind Bomb Hint, and I couldn't remember if I'd already found a unique item behind the bomb, or... So I tried Swamp, and then I ended up taking a snipe from a fireball right before I checked left side chest, so I just noped at that point.
And, sorry to interrupt here, but Michael K decided to try hover in Moldrum 2's room, but Moldrum definitely foiled that plan, like, straight up went for him and knocked him off the ledge.
Nice. Yeah, I had a couple issues with Moldorm too as well, so I mean...
Yeah.
The first time I went up, I killed him, but bounced off the side of the ledge.
Yeah, I noticed that he started, Moldorm started flashing. That was heartbreaking.
I mean, yeah, it's alright. Do what?
Trolldorm was very trolly today. Didn't you also take Trolldorm 1 down with just the fighter sword?
Yeah, I was trying to do it with the sword, and he just kept getting in these real dangerous positions, so I was keeping the sword out to be safe, and I just went with sword after that. But yeah, it wasn't too terrible of a seed other than that hook shot location, really.
I was really happy that a lot of people decided to go and check the bonk chest before running into Turtle Rock, because I was like, oh, that would be a wonderful thing to have it sitting on that one bonk chest in Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe it was that chest today, but nope.
I failed
Chain
that
jumps.
bunk 4 times.
Nice.
Yeah.
We did notice that, and it's not the easiest of chests to get to.
I mean, I don't normally have issues with bunking, but today was just one of those days. Like, I couldn't bunk for some kind of reason. Like, it was just starting to, like, get really frustrated. I was actually sitting here swearing in Swedish, so I was like,
Know the difference if you started.
Oh,
Yeah,
Swedish.
Go.
I thought that accent sounded familiar.
Listen, my favorite thing that you did today was going into Meyer.
oh, yeah, without boots or hook shot. Congratulations, Alex. I don't know what I was thinking about. Honestly.
Well, normally, like, you open up Meyer and, like, so late into the seat, surely we have boots or hook shot at this point. And, yeah, no, we didn't.
Yeah, I don't know what I was doing. Honestly, I was opening up and I was like, okay, let's go in here, and yeah.
Well, to be fair, I was proud of myself for not forgetting that I didn't have boots or hook shot for a change. I do that all the time.
And Michael K takes down Gannon, and he will be finishing up here in just a second.
Indeed. GG's to Michael Cade, finishing out here on the restream. Let's cross the bridge. GG's Michael K finishing up in 20th place with a time of 2 hours, 5 minutes, and 54 seconds. And is going to join us here for an interview. GG's Michael.
GG, Michael.
I'm gonna take this silence as like an expression of anger.
I was thinking pain, but that works too.
Agony and anger.
Pain.
Agony sounds a lot like Aghanim.
That's true.
Well, I at least beat you. I'm gonna succeed.
I was saying earlier, Michael, during the stream, is that you definitely got all of my swag points for this particular race because I was a huge fan of the hovering over not only Moldorn 2, but also the ice chest. But my favorite part was taking Aghanim down with the bug catching net.
Well, of course, I had it. Why not?
Good old
Nice.
swagging
I was actually worried about it being an Aggie seed right off the bat when we got that lamp and cape really early, but
him. Same.
fortunately, no Aggie.
I
Yeah.
refuse to do Aghanim without the Moon Pearl. Like, absolutely refuse.
Yeah, that the cape and the lamp were like huge red herrings.
Yeah, I saw those two and was like, okay, I push off a bit castle, and then before Eastern Palace, I just said, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, at the very least, Aghanim was very generous today. Only one blue ball, if I remember right.
Yeah, it was only one, and I guess I got the powder from the lumberjack at the end. Not that I would have needed that for anything, really.
Yeah, I seen that powder up there myself very late in the season. I was like, oh crap. I turned my mushroom in. Please, no magic bat.
I saw it very, very early on, and then I got my mushroom. I was like, no, we're keeping that.
Yeah, for what it's worth, the Magic Bat only had the Quake Medallion, which wasn't required at all this seed, so luckily nothing of value there.
Yeah.
Well, there was that. Ice Shroud was in GT. I think we found all the normal items then. At least I did.
Uh-huh.
And my menu was full.
Yeah, we found the locations of all the items except for the shield upgrades that we were missing. I think one of them was on the Pyramid Ferry, Hint said.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, one in Maya, one in Mimic Cave as well, and one on Pyramid Ferry. So, yeah.
Oh,
Mimic
right.
Cave,
okay.
that's where it was. All right, did
Yeah.
anyone find the fourth sword?
Yes, Catfish.
Yeah, there was one in Thief's Town in that fourth chest. One was in Catfish. Where was the last one?
Pyramid Ledge.
Oh yeah, Pyramid Ledge. that's right.
I never went to Pyramid Ledge, that's why.
Yeah, it's directly next to you, Ganon. You could quickly go pick it up.
It seemed the only convenience part of the seed was that you guys got Bombos right away, and Bombos was needed to open both Mire and Turtle Rock.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, that got me through Ice Palace too.
Yep.
Same.
That
So much
forced
look
double
faster than
dip for
Fire Rod.
Skull Woods.
Yeah, I think Nilsson was the only respin runner who did not go to Ice Palace before Meyer.
Yeah, I forgot that Ice Palace was Crystal, so I went to Turtle Rock instead, so it paid off.
Oh,
Hey, I'm sure that did.
That's amazing.
And when I got the hook shot, I was like, wait a second, this is not a Crystal Dungeon.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Yeah, I kinda didn't want it to go into Turtle Rock.
I kind of seen the signs for it, but I put it off a little longer than I probably should have.
I was
Yeah.
trying very hard to find an excuse to not go to Turtle Rock, but I couldn't come up with
Yeah.
anything, so I just went.
Yeah, I should have gone to Turtle Rock when I did Dark Death Mountain and Death Mountain in general. Would have paid off.
Yeah, I did it pretty late.
I always try to put Turtle Rock off till very late because the last thing you want is to go in there and have one of the progression items or be on Laser Bridge or be in the Mimic Cave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to like. I like Turtle Rock. Like it might be the minority here, but I like going to Turtle Rock. That's like if you have to merit 6 items or 5, just 5 in the dungeon itself. So you know, the item density is pretty good, and especially if it's a crystal. If it's a pendant, it's kind of untracked. But yeah.
Generally, my policy with Pendant Turtle Rock is if I can get to Laser Bridge, I'm just going. Because there's
Yeah,
almost always
that's a good
something
one.
there.
Yeah, that's definitely a good idea. But at the same time, you often have also the case that you just don't get anything out of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I mean, I'll exhaust actual reasonable options first, i.e. Crystal Dungeons, but when I'm out of Crystal Dungeons, I'm just going into Pendant Turtle Rock. There's probably something in there.
Did anybody find Ice Road?
Yes.
Yes.
Turtle, GT,
okay.
left side, the Dark Magician room.
Oh, okay.
Yep, top left chest. And hey, Vanilla Big Key in the Ganon's Tower today.
Yeah,
Yep.
got a
That
nice
was hype.
19 out of 22.
Same.
Oh. Okay, then. I just did left side full, so I kinda got it early.
I went full right side, so I
Yeah,
didn't
okay.
answer open.
I was
Yeah.
gonna go
Third
left, but then I
edition.
got the 2 keys on the right side, so I just said okay.
Yeah, I skipped that room completely.
I went right side because last time I did one of these, the big key was on the right side, so I was like, let's go right side this time as well.
Yeah. At least you did a full right side and ended up at Armors getting the big key.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. I think we should start wrapping it up here. If any of the runners have any additional last words.
Thanks for the restream, thanks for tracking, and thanks for the commentary.
Yes, thank you to
Oops,
all
we're
of you.
not
And
in
GG's to everyone.
Yeah, GG's to everybody.
GG's everyone. And thanks for having me.
GG's everybody. Thank you for running for us today. Of course, also thank you for thank you all of the runners that weren't on the restream for making a fun race. Let's see what's going on Speed Gaming. As of 15 minutes ago, there are an Super Mario Bros. 3 randomizer tournament on Speed Gaming 2 and a Portal 2 and Inbounds No SLA tournament on Speed Gaming 3. There is, of course, it's already like almost an hour in. Andy versus Will G. Bradley, the fall tournament on Speed Gaming. And for the rest of today, let's see here. We have Donkey Kong Country 3 is going to happen 80% tournament on Speed Gaming at 7 p.m. Eastern. At 8 p.m., Magic the Gathering Arena, also on Speed Gaming. and we're gonna have more SMP3 randomizer across, starting at 8 p.m. Across Speed Gaming 2 and Speed Gaming 5. And we're going to have the 9 p.m. daily race, which is going to be in inverted mode on Speed Gaming 4. So that's going to be exciting. If you like inverted, it's going to be hype. Right. Thank you everybody for watching. And thank you to our trackers, Phase 9 Alex and literally Jen. Couldn't do it without you. And of course, thank you very much to my co-commentator, Lord Famo. It was very fun.
Thank you very much, Red Armor. You did a fantastic job, and I'm be happy to commentate again.
Quite so. Thank you everybody again for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to follow the Speed Gaming Network. I think Speed Gaming through and Speed Gaming 2 through 6 for your speed racing needs. This is Red Armor, and yeah, have a good night.
Good night, everybody.